I'm the artistic director on the Tropical Arts production Richard III. I'm just going to talk about some insights into what it was like thinking up the vision and working with others to get it up on ready for stage.
And so, can I ask? This is Richard III that you've. How did you choose this particular Shakespeare play in the first place?
Well, Tropical Arts is a lot about inclusion and about everybody having a strength, even if they've got perceived weaknesses. So really wanted to look at having a main protagonist as a person with a disability. And we know from history that Richard III was disabled and he had scoliosis, so it was very enlightening to know that we can show that even though Richard is quite an evil character, he's still a flawed human, and we really wanted to show that regardless of your ability, you can do what you set out to achieve.
What say I? What say I? I say that in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Ambitious young man came sailing high, we say so, and we know so. An ambitious young man came sailing high. Oh, an ambitious young man. Ambitious young man, your ship will sink, and we say so, and we know so. Ambitious young man, your ship will sink. Oh, ambitious young man. Draw him down with a long, long rope, and we say so, and we know so.
And that's why we paired it with pirates as well, because we are looking at that idea that to make a ship run you need lots of little cogs to make the whole ship work and function, and pirates were accepting of everyone, juxtaposed with the Navy, who were a lot about having stock standard people that were white, that were usually in a lot of cases working class or above, and had a lot of more opportunities, whereas pirates take what typically not in excess, but obviously there's a few different pirates of old that did steal to excess, but a lot of it is just people that don't conform to regular society finding a place.
So that's partly why you decided to make them pirates, because pirates pick up on all these other people who are kind of not part of mainstream society.
Yeah, so through stories you see these pirate characters with hooks for hands and appendages that have been disfigured in war, being amputated, and it's quite a interesting idea that even though you may be having these injuries, you can still contribute to the ship, and unless it was a really severe injury that you could no longer get up and down the stairs full of others in the ship.
Yeah.
That you'd be found a place, and you get your fair share.
What pain it was to drown! I saw 1,000 fearful wrecks, Spanish ships, Dutch ships, now resting in those deep depths. 10,000 men that fishes gnawed upon, wretches of gold, heaps of pearl, unvalued jewels, all scattered at the bottom of the sea, which wooed the slimy bottom of the deep, and mocked them dead men's bones that lay scattered by, all guarded by the flaming monstrous
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've never actually imagined it like that. That's you're right. Everyone gets to contribute, and everyone's got a role. Yeah, and so I also heard that it's not just a adaptation of Richard III, the Shakespearean play, but you also as well as making it pirates, you've also included singing and things like that in it.
Yeah. So even though our play is set around the 1600s, 1700s, when most sea shanties weren't created, a lot of the sea shanties were created in the mid 1800s. So it's quite a interesting take we're going with to show that even though they're these supposedly cutthroats and very violent people, they've also got these songs that keep their morale up. And basically what we want is Shakespeare can be boring, and what we've done in the last couple of years, is actually including parts that break up the hard to understand dialogue and make it accessible to all audience members, particularly for everyone to enjoy, because a lot of the time you see people falling asleep in their seat or being distracted, and basically with the songs we're breaking up the intense dialogue up and making it so it's in more manageable, digestible chunks that everyone can almost have a debrief and relax, because they don't need to focus exactly on what's being said. They can just enjoy the experience and see that even though it's a serious subject that we're talking about throughout the play, it softens it and makes it more more for general audiences, and not focusing on the killing, but more about the morale and how, even through hardships, everyone sticks together.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, because sea shanties are like that, isn't it? They're aimed at coordinating people as a team.
Yeah. Typically they're for sailors, not pirates.
Yeah.
I think it really evokes a hidden emotions. We've got a couple of really good classics in there, like the Leave Her Johnny, and that is just a really beautiful song that can be seen in many different ways. It can be seen as sailors having to leave their loved ones behind and they don't know when they're back.
I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, John, leave her. Tomorrow you will get your pay. It's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. I hate to sail on this rotten tub. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. No grog allowed and no rotten grub, and it's time for us to leave her.
That could also mean that they're reminiscing about leaving society behind, and you create a family on board a ship, you might be leaving your family, but you know, you need it. People need you on the boat. So I think it's a really interesting one, particularly that you know, pirates or people of the sea do have a soft side,
Yeah.
and could you know relate to everyone, and yeah, so they're quite powerful in portraying emotion that is hard to get with Shakespearean language from modern context.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to ask about, because you're saying it's both very intense, but it's also the language itself is often difficult for people to get the full message from.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So with this production, we've kept about 90% of the original Shakespeare, exactly as it was written.
yeah,
And then the other 10%, we've sort of gone with just changing words like, castle to ship, or using terms like, woodworm planks, which is a, pest that eats the wood. It was very feared in these times because everything was made out of wood. So it
yeah,
was very dangerous. That basically, if you had those, you would, you could be out sailing and they just rot the hull. So we just changed kind of the words to make it fit our context and fit, fears from those times as opposed to fears from 15th century England, and just changing the context of kings to captains, and having governors and admirals instead of usurpers and other warring families. So it's an interesting
yeah,
concept. When we started, we thought, it would be a very simple process, but it's had many challenges, and it's been very difficult to portray what we've been after. But I think we're getting there, and I think it's good that the vision's got legs, and sometimes down on paper it sounds good, but when you see it on stage or see it performed, it changes completely. So
yeah, it evolves.
yes, no, definitely.
Yeah. Well, already it's starting to look pretty amazing with the sails up and things like that. You can see it's going to be looking very interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely, and we've got a ton of volunteers, and a really pivotal creative in making the set and costumes and props, and I think that's helping transform it off the page onto stage. Once you see these elements, and you can see where people will be performing, and it's important for actors to dispel beliefs that they're not on a ship, because they've got to mime all their props, or imagine that there's sails, and when we can add set pieces, you can really bring that out, and if you believe it, the audience will believe it. And it's really about, that's the beauty of art, is that you need to even as an audience member, you need to invest in the narrative and in their imagination, and it really is a unique experience, I think, and it gives things that you can't get from regular life or other art forms.
What I begged in jest, thou dost, and put swords of wicked men to point their own at me. Now Margaret, curse has fallen on my head, when he, quoth she, shall split thy heart with sorrow. Remember, Margaret was a prophetess. Come, sirs, convey me to the plain. Wrong hath but wrong, and blind as you are blind.
So, yes, it really helps that
Yeah.
it's not just, it's from the script to the set, to the actors, to the volunteers, just like a pirate ship, we're all intricate and all form little cogs for the big function of the play. So it's it's a huge effort from everyone involved, but I think everyone enjoys it, and the joy that they're getting. It's not all fun and games, but we're able to see that we're all putting efforts in, and we all want the same thing. So it's really great that all our volunteers, whether they're actors or backstage, can really see that it's important for us to showcase people of different abilities and showcase what community theatre can give to people's lives, and how they hide their own weaknesses to try and enlighten people, and trying to make people sit down and realise that the stage can be for everyone, and
Yeah.
everyone's welcome to Tropical Arts, and I think there's a lot of companies out there that welcome
Well,
people get involved as long as they're committed and are coming with the right mindset. Theatre's perfect for everyone.
yeah. And just looking today at the ARC participants, you can see how enthusiastic everyone is. It's like there seems to be a real enthusiasm about having a role in this play.
Yeah. So the ARC Ensemble, we've been rehearsing for 14 weeks now, and it's really been a godsend. I think a lot of the other cast in our production would love that consistency and that amount of time to play and test things and practice. And the ARC Ensemble are a really disciplined group. They've been doing this for almost 14 years now. And it's just incredible to see that even though people leave and other people come in, they're still keeping that consistency that even though you are have a disability, you're still need to be held to the same standards as other people. And I think it really gives everyone, not just the art guys, a sense of commitment, a sense of responsibility that that everyone contributes, and they're definitely an audience favourite every time they perform.
How fain like the latte. Would I wash my hands on this grievous, guilty murder done? The guard, the guard. No! Richard! Brother! Oh, blood is silly, things spilt. I'm Burgundy! How cheated am I to see the white spring from his eyes? But let's rejoice. Come! We stand there still waters.
Just because of the quality that they produce and just how happy they are just being on stage.
Yeah, I can see that enthusiasm, and while I was waiting today, people like Darren and them were coming up telling me how they are performers. They are actually, that's how he imagines himself as an actor, because he's been doing acting for so long.
and we found that the art ensemble has been a stepping stone people. You just mentioned Darren Smith, and along with being at the art ensemble, Darren is also in our main cast as well. So we really enjoyed having that transition where it's people who want to get involved, and as much as they want, as much capacity as they have, they'll always be found as place. And
but sure, I fear we shall near win him to it.
Forbid this man, say his name!
I fear he will.
Always welcome it, and obviously it not only diversifies the work, but also and is great for audiences, but also uplifts the other performers, and they get a sense that acting isn't about Hollywood names or multi-million-dollar sets. It's about people, and when you act, you're acting as people, and you're portraying people, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, and
that community theatre gives you than other art forms.
yeah, and that thing where you're talking about, where you're combining a whole range of people and stuff, it seems to me that it's really in Cairns, it's really only Tropical Arts actually really doing that. Everyone else tend to have small casts, and they don't have, and like you here, you come up with a whole play which is intended to be inclusive.
Well, it seems like a big task, but when you break it down, it's rather a simple thing to achieve. It's just about giving people a chance, and we don't audition, we just let people be involved as much as they want, or as little as they want. And it's really about, in saying that we are still keeping quite a high standard, so it's great that when you give people an opportunity, they'll surprise you, and I think this year, like every other year, it's offering different things and different perspectives, and I think whoever comes along to watch it will be pleasantly surprised by the quality that they see, and by the people just being people and having fun. And
we will rise and hail
Yeah.
That's the main thing that we all want in life. So,
And it sounds from comments of other people I've interviewed that's one of your skills or qualities, is that you expect well of people, and people then perform to your expectations.
yeah, I think it's really important to, not pigeonhole people.
Yeah.
Give them a chance, and it's about collaborating. With the script we've had, in order for people to get involved, we need to make some adjustments to the script. And yes, it can put strain in other places, but I think it's important for people to have that ownership of their role, and they want to give the best, and they don't want to say they can do something and then realise that 11th hour that it's too hard.
Yeah.
I'd rather them say, these are my, not limitations, but these are what I need to, give my best performance. And, it's just about having those conversations and, like you said, believing in people and letting them have that support and knowledge that that you think they're going to do a great job.
He fought for me. He rescued me when capsized.
But with any of your partners? But any of your partners are waiting vassals? I've got a broken But when any of your partners are waiting vassals?
Oh yeah. Carders and waiting vassals. In drunken rage, you rape, pillage and plunder, and then down on your knees for pardon. Pardon?
And I think definitely when we go up on opening night, I think the audience will see that that it's a bunch of incredible performers, and they won't see community theatre as not worth seeing. They'll see it as a worthwhile thing that we need to keep.
Thanks, Wendy. It's great to be here tonight, and I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners, the Gimmoy Wallabari Indigenous people, and say respect to their elders past and present, and acknowledge all the traditional owner groups in our region. Also, well done to Tropical Arts, well done to Doug and the whole committee, everyone involved. It's well over a decade now. It's the stated ambition of Council to be the arts and culture capital of Northern Australia. So you guys are really helping us achieve that. Over more than a decade now, you've made this an institution in our local arts calendar. Is fantastic. So thank you so much for that. I'd also like to acknowledge Councillor Anna Middleton in the audience tonight. Anna's been just a passionate, informed, vocal supporter of the Arts on Council. So thank you, Anna, for everything you've done for the arts here in Cairns. Before going personally, as a person with a disability, I think it would be remiss of me not to say how lucky we are as Australians to have inherited 50 years of civil rights legislation that allows participation of groups that have been previously marginalised and disadvantaged, people with disabilities, people of colour, the LGBTIQ community. These are all groups under attack at the moment in the United States, which has a very toxic fascist agenda. So I know we can resist that in Australia and keep going. So we've got a place for everyone here, because when you have those rights that have taken a long time to get for disadvantaged groups, to have them ripped away overnight is heartbreaking and it's hurtful, and it costs lives. So I think we need to make sure we keep promoting inclusion, diversity and equity And like what some people say, it doesn't give you a free kick, it just gives you a chance to get onto the pitch and have a go. And that's what we want in Australia. So good on Tropical Arts and good on everyone here. Thank you.
Society keep making it flourish because you know, when you're letting people be themselves and feel supported, then they go into other parts of their life with that same feeling and that same discipline that they need to be on stage. And it's really, it's helped me in my life, and everyone that gets involved in theatre has an experience out of it, and makes them take stock and think of where they can apply some of the skills they've developed in their life.
Yeah, and I should ask you at this point, I think you're, I don't know, less than 2 weeks away from the preview. Are you feeling nervous, or how are you feeling about how it's all going to go?
I think it's definitely feeling a bit nervous. It's always the same. Every production you've got that final push that everyone's exhausted, everyone's in the trenches together, and but then usually there'll be a push. So on this weekend, I think there'll be a giant push of effort that everyone will be get another burst of energy and see it through. Because as soon as they get their makeup and their costumes and
it becomes
and
real.
on them, you find another gear, and that's what we've been training. We train for 2 or 3 months to get to this stage, and then people realise that all the things that they were made to do, all the things that the directors got them to change, all make it worthwhile. And when they get on stage, they get piece it all together, and they go, those things the director told me that I needed to work on really paid off in the final product, and it's something that they can be proud of, because we actually record the play on closing night.
Ship, land
and that way we can share it further than just Cairns and spread the message that serious for everyone.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all of that. And if you're okay, I'll follow this up with a
Yeah.
after show and see how it reflects.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.